Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, everybody. Welcome back to your pre-market watch list. We're going to get running through some of the most popular stocks here this morning. As you guys can see, already started off the morning pretty good, looking at about $1,000 green on the day so far before market open, so that's a plus. So let's get into this watch list really quickly. I'm also going to run you guys over a couple swing trades we've been working on. So the first thing that we'll touch on, which I think is going to be of the most popular penny stock maybe today, is OCX. So OCX started running this morning. It pushed up to a high of 430, then it pulled back. We've kind of been doing this consolidation push. Right now, this stock is easy to borrow on Thinkorswim, so it's a penny stock you can actually short. So for those of you watching this today, if you feel that this is actually going to go lower and you're on Thinkorswim, you might very well have the capability to short. It says easy to borrow. Now, whenever this is the case, we always kind of build the assumption that it's going to be a long. Whenever we feel that more people are able to short a stock than they usually would be, then we actually go long bias. So we'll see if that plays out. In the past, we have seen many easy to borrow stocks on Thinkorswim that are penny stocks end up turning into really good longs, and I've built the theory and idea it's because more people are shorting it rather than actually buying it that day, so it kind of goes opposite of what everyone thinks. So anyways, OCX is going to be the main candidate we watch long, or at least one of them, particularly because it's easy to borrow. Now, if we look at the technical side of this stock and we go to the 1 year, 1 day chart, well, you're going to see that the overbought price target starts at 311. And if we go to the 4-hour chart, the overbought price target starts at 296. And you can see where the stock is currently trading. So we're still overbought from long-term trending zones by, I don't know, 40 cents almost. So for me right now, theoretically, the target is down, maybe towards this $3 price point. As soon as we start to get through the regression trend pre-market or into the trading day, that's when the stock has the potential to swing down that low. So if in the event the stock goes down to these prices of $3.11 to $3, we might be more long bias in that zone. But this is going to be a stock that we do, as a matter of fact, watch for long bias trading today. So next one on the list is going to be VERU. VERU has been continuously going up, squeezing out shorts, going long, going short, going long, going short, continuing up. So it's been sort of a confusing trader. It still looks strong. We're probably not going to be extremely short biased this stock today. Right now, we're kind of just sitting neutral and watching this because it's continuously gone up, even when we thought it would go down. But at the end of the day, our price targets for VERU are still all the way down at $5 and $5.80. So for right now, our targets for the stock VERU are $5 to $6, $7 right now, even though we're trading at 11. Tomorrow, the price targets could be 7. They could be, well, they wouldn't be 7 or 8. That'd be too much. But, tomorrow these might change a little bit. Next week, they might change a little bit. But for right now, those blue lines that we mapped off for you guys, those are the targets on the downside for VERU currently. So there's still a lot of room the stock can fall down. It's more or less just a matter of when the bulls finally give in, the bears take control of the move, and we start moving the stock back to the downside. So for right now, we're kind of neutral on VERU, but more bearish than bullish, but not like full-blown bearish because it's been kind of confusing. All right, next one on the list that's been moving this morning was AVXL. So AVXL is already sold off all the way. I don't see this turning into a good long move. I could be wrong, but I really don't see this turning into a good long move. So for the time being, we're probably not going to be doing anything at all with AVXL. All right, here's another one, OPNT. So this kind of gapped up this morning. It's got lighter volume. So again, it's not my typical go-to. This morning seems a little bit slow. So if you're looking at OPNT, just know that it's kind of light on volume, and typically I stay away from stocks that I feel are going to trade thinly or not have a lot of volume behind them. Let's take a peek at NEO. If you look at NEO, NEO ended up holding that price level that we had mentioned yesterday to be long off of for a bounce. So far NEO has respected our long-term 4-hour trending support level here, and we turned into a bounce. So if you followed along with the NEO analysis on Sunday and you took this trade, you'd be green. So for right now, we're not really doing anything on NEO. We're just going to let the bounce move continue. It's not on a super, super low risk level that we would want, which is all the way down at 34. Do we get 34? Have no clue, but if we do, we'll be long. So NEO, good bounce so far. Now what I'll do is run you guys through a couple of the swing trades we're in and working on. First is AAPL, so Apple, currently up about 200 bucks on the swing trade, up about 500 bucks altogether today on the trade because it went down yesterday. Then I made money back today as it went up. But you can kind of see it's been working its way up, kind of grinding. Some people in the market might see this as a bull flag. So you kind of have a bull flag that's developing in the lower buy zone. You know, if you believed, and you know, if I told you 100% that when the price is below the white line and in between this orange line down here, we're in the buy zone, right? And you believe that when you're above the white line and going towards this one, you're into more of a selling zone, then you yourself would put more trust into the bull flags that happen down here. So I do believe we're going through sort of a bull flag, bullish pennant setup here in the lower buying phase of Apple's trend. And we're going to be looking at this move pushing back up towards 131 to 132, pretty much anything from 129 to 132. So we're holding long 200 shares, looking for the swing trade up to 130 bucks for right now. The key here is that we get through the daily chart level, which I'm not sure if we are, so let me check. You see this, I changed the time frame to 1 year, 1 day, and you can see we have our resistance trend right here at 124.38. Let's see where that's at when we go to a 1 minute chart today. When we go to a 1 minute chart, we're not even at it. The 1 minute chart has resistance at 124.39. So if you're looking at Apple today, strong chance stock moves to 139, or we sell off here in this zone on the day and pull back. But in order to get that full rip all the way up to the 130 prices, we have to successfully cross through our long-term daily chart trend, which again is at like 124. All right, moving on to PayPal. Go to PayPal. PayPal, we're up 100 and almost 200 bucks a day on the trade. We're green, 500 bucks on the day from it going down the other day and going back up. So we're currently long 200 shares on PayPal. PayPal has put in a new all-time high. If you look at the development of PayPal, it looks like a long-term W, bullish, flag, pattern, whatever you want to call it, that took place right on the daily chart trend. So if we can successfully move the price through the daily chart trend and the 4-hour trend, which I'll show you in a second, we're having price targets potentially on PayPal all the way up to $260. You can see here when I flip the time frame to the 180 days, so we started a 1 year day chart, so we went from longer, and then we just shrunk the PayPal chart down to 180 day, which is a little smaller. And you'll see right here when I zoom in, we have our 180 day 4-hour time frame long-term trending resistance mark right at 223.67. So until the price gets through 223.67, we're not going to be able to easily flow towards price targets of maybe 260. So we're in PayPal, we're through an all-time high, and we're looking to successfully break out, but the breakout hasn't really happened. The breakout over the all-time high happened, but the true breakout through statistical trend hasn't happened, and that's usually what's going to kickstart the more momentumous move. So we're still in PayPal, swing long, looking for price targets of potentially 250 to 260, but first and foremost, we got to get through the price of 223 long-term trending resistance. And now we will go and take a look at the SPY and the NASDAQ for you. All right, so SPY just put in a slight little double bottom, higher low thing here. Right now, targets on the back to the upside right now are going to be 368. So good chance we see the markets move back up to 368 to retest that 4-hour long-term trending resistance. If we look at the daily chart, the daily chart has been holding the half standard deviation here on the S&P 500 at like 363. So we have successfully gone through a dip on the S&P 500 just below the 9 moving average. We've held a half standard deviation support, and really now the only thing left to do, I think, is probably go back up towards 369. And if we go look at the NASDAQ, NDX, or well, we'll look at the Qs. So if we look at the Qs, you guys will remember, if you guys stay up to date on my morning stream every single day, we told you that the NASDAQ was going to pull back to this long-term trending support here. We were going to go through a dip buy, and then the market would probably pick back up. So essentially, the NASDAQ has pulled back to long-term trending support on the daily chart. We have held that support, and now we are moving back up in the bullish direction. And the NASDAQ now probably has a target of 310. 310 will be its, I think the market's going to move back up to 310 before you see, you know, like a resistance pullback occur. And then once the market can successfully get through 310, that's when we can suggest that we're going to be on the way towards price targets of more like 330 on the NASDAQ and like 340 on the SPY or 360 on the SPY or something like that. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I know that was quick, I know it was fast, I know I get straight to the point, but I hope you guys like those videos. I hope you learned something new. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button, and I'll see you guys on the next one tomorrow morning.